Good day and welcome to this Facebook Live edition of Let's Talk Access, a social media program produced and presented by the UWI Open Campus. I am your host, Cleveland Sam. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in the World Wide Web this evening. Well, this afternoon for my colleagues in Belize. Today, we talk with recent graduates of the UWI Open Campus, and they represent 3 of the Open Campus territories, and you will hear their stories and their experiences of studying at this great campus. My guests are from Jamaica / Bahamas, Latoya Atkinson; from Jamaica, Anita Mitchell; and from Belize, our English-speaking Central American member territory, Paul Norellis. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Talk Access. My great pleasure to have you as our guest today. Very diverse. Good evening.
Good evening, Dr. Sam. Thanks for having us.
Good evening, Dr. Sam. Thanks for having us.
Great. And thank you for giving up your Thursday evening to be with us here on Let's Talk Access. Now, as I said in my introduction, all 3 of you are recent graduates of the UWI Open Campus, and we want to hear your story. Latoya, I'm going to start with you because you were the valedictorian for the 2020 graduation, which obviously took place in 2021 as a result of COVID-19. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Latoya.
Well, as you would have said earlier, I have 2 homes, 2 places I can call home in the Caribbean. I was born in the Bahamas, spent most of my formative years in Jamaica. I am back in the Bahamas, been living here now for the past 20 years. So I consider myself a Bahamican, that term that I coined to represent both of the countries.
Original term.
Yes. So after I came back to live here in the Bahamas, I previously studied hotel and resort management. And so I worked in hotel management for a number of years, for about 10 years, after which I decided, because I had gotten married and had young children, I needed a job that was less demanding of my time. Because as we know, the hotel never sleeps, so you can spend many hours there. And I wanted to, spend quality time with my children who were very young. They're still very young. As a matter of fact, one just celebrated a 9th birthday on Monday, and one is 6. So they're still very young, and I wanted to be able to spend more time with them. So I decided to leave the industry in 2015, but I still had a passion for service and for people. And I decided, what better job to do than human resources, where I could combine those 2 passions. And in 2016, that's when I decided, I'm going to pursue a bachelor's degree in HR at the Open Campus, because I wanted to learn everything from the ground up. So hence my reason for studying HR at the Open Campus.
Great, and we'll hear from you later on, because as I said, you're actually the valedictorian for the 2020 graduation. All right, what about my other colleague from Jamaica, Anita Mitchell? How are you doing? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, good evening. I'm well. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for having me here this afternoon, or this evening, because we're after 6 in Jamaica. And a little bit about myself. Well, I've always been a people person, hence my major in tourism and hospitality. I decided in 2016 to start my journey with the UWI Open Campus. To be honest, I wasn't sure, not sure what I was going to do with my life, because up until that point, I was just working random jobs. And then I said, you know what, it's time to get serious. And I thought there's no better place to get serious and get that training that would be necessary than the UWI Open Campus. So that's my story for now. We'll talk a bit later about it as we progress.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Anita. And Paul, you are the thorn among these 2 beautiful roses. Tell us a bit about yourself, Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. And I must say, Ms. Latoya and Ms. Anita are amazing women. from my end, my name is Paul Morales. I am from Belize, the beautiful jewel of this side of the Caribbean. Currently an acting principal of a high school, and I looked at UWI because of the need for teacher development and teacher capacity. I wanted to help in that area, and so I did my degree with you guys. And I must say that everything that I do now represents what a pelican should be and ought to be. And I must say I'm proud to have been a part of the UWI family. Thank you.
All right, great. So Paul, I'm gonna go back to you. So you said that currently you are a principal in Belize, and I'm sure some of your students may be watching this. What is the name of your high school, and what did you do with the Open Campus? What program did you pursue with us?
The high school that I'm currently the principal of is called Excelsior High School. It was originally known as Curtis High School, and it focuses on vocational technical sciences. With you on UWI campus, I did a postgraduate diploma in educational leadership and management. In Belize, teachers have to be certified. And so when you're moving into the administrative role, you also have to possess a certification in that area. And so all principals need to have the educational leadership background so as to maintain and hold the post. And so when this became an opportunity through UWI, I jumped on it with a couple of my colleagues, and I must say it was tough at times, blood, sweat, and tears, and endless nights of no rest. But I must say you worked through it, and through collaboration, and teamwork, anything is possible.
All right, so there we have a deputy principal in Belize. And Latoya, you made a career switch. You were explaining to us earlier why you made your career switch, and why did you choose HR?
Well, I love working with people, and I love to help people. And in HR, you get to do that. You get to do just that. You're able to assist persons, motivate employees, provide coaching, help employees with various challenges that they may be having on the job. I love to do that. I also love interacting with customers. And so since I wasn't going to have that aspect anymore in working in the hotel, I decided to just direct all that energy to internal customers, which are your employees.
So how did you find the switch from hotel and hospitality to human resources?
Well, I actually don't work directly in HR as yet. I do assist the HR manager in the company that I work currently with various projects. I am not fully, involved in HR as yet, but I have found the change not very challenging so far, because I've worked in management, in various management capacities in the hotel. So it's all about leading people. So
Right.
It's not much difference. It's just a little bit more hands-on.
Okay. And well, Anita, she did the opposite of you. She went into hotel and hospitality area. So Anita, I know Jamaica is huge when it comes to tourism and the tourism industry. Why did you choose tourism and hospitality as your career path? Is Anita still with us? Okay, so it seems as if we have lost Anita temporarily, and when she comes back in, we'll welcome her back. All right, so now I know there are a lot of other institutions offering courses in management, courses in leadership, courses in human resources management, but you guys chose the UWI Open Campus. Tell us why you chose the UWI Open Campus to pursue your studies. Let's go with you, Latoya, as the lady.
Thank you, Sam. Well, for me, it was a no-brainer. The Open Campus has a stellar reputation. It's highly accredited worldwide, highly recognized by employers worldwide. I particularly like the convenience of it for me, because I have a family and I work full-time. So I know I could not go to school in the traditional setting by going into a classroom after work. I did not have that kind of time. And
Right.
so I knew I had to choose a university that would provide me with quality education, first of all, and that would be convenient to fit into my schedule. So I don't think it took much convincing for me to choose the open campus. It was my first choice.
Right. And was the fact that it was online one of the driving factors for you?
Yes, absolutely. As I said, I don't have that kind of luxury, the time to go to a classroom after work and sit down in a physical classroom. So I needed that convenience of being able to attend classes whenever I could. The beauty with the open campus is that your classes are recorded. So if you're not able to be in a live class online,
Right.
which, you know, first of all, I should say that you can take your classroom literally wherever you are. You know, if you're stuck in traffic, you can have your classroom with you because the platform is available on your cell phone. You know, you could be in the bathroom in your classroom. You know, I have had many times when I was cooking dinner while being in the class. So I really like the convenience of it. And that's the reason for me choosing the open campus, because of the online convenience. Yes.
So, you know, that is actually our theme for this recruitment period as well as the last one. Bringing the classroom wherever you are.
Yes. And it's so true. It's literally you take it wherever you are.
Yeah, it's not just a tagline, it's actually manifest every day in people like you, like your life. Yes?
Absolutely.
Right. My friend from Belize, why did you choose the open campus?
Latoya said it all in all those words that you just said. It was convenient,
Okay.
it was flexible, it was in reach of wherever you were. You could do it in the kitchen, as she said, in the bathroom. And for us, being that we're working people, it allowed for me to have a day job and also go back to school. And so with that, the teachers also provided you with this ability to be yourself, express your ideas and your thoughts. And at the same time, too, I felt that I could have met other people from the Caribbean. And that was one of the things that I enjoyed. I saw the collaboration, I saw the communication, which were big key moments for me that I will always remember about being on the open campus.
Right. So that leads me nicely into my next question about your overall experience. And you started speaking to it, Paul, about the fact that you had this rich interaction with other students. Tell us about that.
Well, what happened was a group of us decided that we wanted to start moving to administration because we have looked at teacher capacity building. We've noticed teacher efficacy started to dwindle. We noticed that teacher morale was going down. And so who would offer us the ability to learn as much as we can, with the flexibility and the convenience of us being in our homes. And so a group of us went over to UWI campus, and we were able to be provided all the information needed. And so, like I was sharing to you guys earlier, if there was a topic, we all took the same courses. So we all decided to do our research. We gave each other ideas. We would send our essays or whatever we were given to write. We would check them and send them back with our ideas and some suggestions. And so we were able to form that network of each other and that family. And so that was one way to assist us to make sure that we did our work on time and we did good paperwork. We even took off days together to do our assignments together, even when we had presentations. And so those memories will never die with us. And even when I met with my colleagues from other parts of the Caribbean, we were able to, we had the WhatsApp group. We did our Google Docs information. We were able to share information. We gave each other time to work on our projects. And so, again, the collaboration, communication, those were key of those 5 C skills that we have to learn for the 21st century learner. Came into effect with us here at UWI campus.
Yeah. All right. I think Anita is back with us. Anita? We at the Open Campus are very aware of how you know, temperamental the internet can
Yes,
be.
my apologies.
Go ahead.
Right. I think Paul was saying just now how it is that the open campus allowed you to interact with so many other persons. I don't feel that I missed out because I was not on a physical campus like Mona or St. Augustine, but I think the relationships that I've built, over the time, you know, are lasting me across a lifetime. I know for a fact that certain of my guild members back in my time, you know, they're here and they're watching and they're supporting, and we have lasting friendships up until this point. I know that Nikisha Janki, she used to be the guild president in my time, and Leon Dawson, he was the president after her. And I know that Norris is the president currently. They are all supportive of me, and I know that they're here watching right now. So those are friendships that we have developed over the time and that they're still going on strong.
Awesome. In fact, when I shared the graphic for this program with Leon Dawson on Monday or Tuesday, he was like, yeah, this is going to be good. You have a really good panel. So I'm sure he's watching, and he has shared it with everyone in Belize and across the region, as he said, as a former guild president. And Nakisha Janki, my good friend as well, I'm sure she's also very proud of you, and the current president, Norris, who, so there you go, you know, and they're in different countries. So they're in 3 different countries, and really great experience. Latoya, your overall experience, because you're a mother, you're a wife.
Yes. Well, I have to say that it was very rewarding, but at the same time, very challenging to balance, you know, the responsibilities of a family, of a full-time job and studies. However, you know, it makes you prioritize. You're forced to prioritize, you're forced to utilize time management skills and make sacrifices, you know. Without those things, you probably won't be successful in this journey. For persons who are working full-time, I should say, and have families, if you don't do these things, you're probably not going to be successful. It requires a lot of commitment and dedication, but it is not unattainable. It's obviously something that you can do. I'm a testament to that, and many others before me, and the panel here with me today, they are all testimonies of the fact that it can be done. You can have a family, you can work full time, and you can still accomplish and be successful in your studies.
All right, so I just want to, I'm monitoring the Facebook chat as well. And Sonia Sinclair says, hi, my baby girl, Latoya.
That's my mommy. Hi, mommy.
Oh, hi, mom, you're watching. And Nakisha Janki says, yes, Anita. So you see, Anita is right. They're all there supporting. I'm sure Leon Dawson is somewhere following this as well. Anita, when you dropped out, I was asking about your reason for selecting your current career path.
All right. I'm not working in the industry that I did my bachelor's in at the moment, but growing up, my mom is the sort of person that if you come to our house, you will never leave unless you are fed, unless you're well taken care of. And that sort of instilled in me some what you call them now, some principles of hospitality. And that's where I fell in love with hospitality overall. So that's why I went to Heart Trust NTA. That's a local training institute that we have here. And I became a certified chef. Then I said, you know what? I want to make it better for workers in Jamaica's tourism industry. So I went ahead and did my bachelor's that will, will assist me to be a manager in one of these resorts. So yeah, that's the backstory behind why I chose tourism. Because I love interacting.
Are you serving us dinner tonight after this program, Anita?
Please repeat.
Are you serving us dinner tonight after this program?
If you want to fly to Jamaica, I can sort out some nice
I will
Ackee and
fly for
saltfish for you
Jamaica just
guys.
for the food.
Sure,
Just for the
certainly.
food. Ackee and saltfish, oxtail, curry goat, anything.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Right. So yeah, that's my rationale behind choosing that program. And I just want to add my point to what Latoya said about learning balance and how to get through this journey of UWI Open Campus. I'm not a mom yet, but I do work full time. I am a loans officer with one of these, banks in Jamaica.
Right.
And it was full time, 9 to 5. I remember there was a time, if I could give you this story quickly, there was a time when I wasn't, go ahead.
Take your time.
Oh, take my time? Okay. Sorry. There was a time when I wasn't blessed with a vehicle of my own just yet, but I started my studies. And I remember it was about 9 o'clock that I left the campus in Nathan. That's where I studied. 9 o'clock, our time would probably be, 10 o'clock, my friend's time down there. And I remember when I had to call the taxi and I had to be the last one on the taxi and I'm holding on my purse and everything because I'm determined to say, determined to ensure that I'm getting A's because I don't know if you guys know, but I was the top matriculant I was the recipient, of the top matriculant scholarship, One sec, please.
Okay, that's great. Congratulations on
Congrats.
that. Great, congrats. So we have really some stars here because Latoya, you were the valedictorian in the last graduation. When you found out this, tell us about your reaction when you received that letter that told you are the valedictorian.
It was sheer joy, excitement. It was personally rewarding, satisfying. I mean, my reaction was screaming, like, and doing the happy dance. My kids and I, we have this dance that we call the happy dance. I won't show you today.
Oh, you're not showing us. Oh my goodness, Paul, she's robbing us the experience of the happy dance.
So, yes, but I was most honored and humbled at the same time to think that with all the challenges that I had encountered along the way, that I was, looked upon, to receive such a prestigious accolade, amongst all the other students, because I know of some very, very brilliant minds that I met along the journey. And so any one of them could have easily gotten the award as well.
Right.
So I thank God. I see it as a gift from God to have attained such an honor.
That's awesome, and congratulations to you. And it's really not such a rare thing because I remember the previous valedictorian was from Dominica in 2019. And she was also a mom. In fact, she came to the graduation with her very young child. So it seems, Paul, as if the ladies with children have the recipe for being valedictorian. Paul, when are the guys going to become the val?
The women, that's a good thing. Women are the backbone of our community. So when we see women going further on in education, that is the building of a nation. So men will step it up. They have their time. For me, on my end, through the open campus, they have the global giving scholarships that they offer.
Right,
and
right.
I was one of the recipients of those scholarships. And
Wow.
so the part that I enjoyed was the essay writing because the panel here in Belize, they just spoke about how did your writing become this way? And I said, one thing I've learned about being a Pelican is nothing else. When I leave this institution, one of the best things that I will definitely take away is how I write. And so I offer to all my friends who are taking on these degrees here is that you will leave from here some of the best writers. You may come in with feeling a little bit shaky, a little bit rocky, but after the toiling and all the tears, like what Anita spoke of, but that resilience that you have to go to push through and balance, like what Latoya spoke of, you will do your best and you will come out on top.
I can certainly attest to what Paul said about your writing skills. You know, one of the courses that we do at UWI, it's an English course, and it teaches you how to write academically, because writing academically is definitely different from any other type of writing, whether it's novel writing or any other. And that course, along with business communication course that I did, and I think many others, I think those are foundational courses that everyone has to do. Those courses have certainly prepared me to do what I'm doing now. I'm doing a master's degree, and I have gotten some very good feedback about my style of writing. And I know I attribute that to what UWI taught me, because I hadn't known that those foundational principles about academic writing prior to. So I definitely give UWI all the credit for helping me with my writing skills. And it's something that I want to pursue in the future, to write books. And so I think UWI has equipped me with the knowledge and the tools that I need to be able to do those things successfully.
That's an awesome testimony, and I'm sure my colleague in APA, Dr. Denise Gaspard Richard, and her staff would be really happy to hear what you have said about the courses that they're offering in the program. Is Anita with us? I think she dropped out again. Anita, are you there?
I'm here. I'm still here.
So we're ready for your story now, so you can go from the start.
All right, I was saying before I was blessed. Are you hearing me?
We're hearing you.
Yes.
Right. I'm saying before the Lord blessed me with a vehicle of my own, I realized that this was the only way that I was going to get an education. I will always be an ambassador for the UWI Open Campus, because without them, I would not have gotten that scholarship and I would not have received this tertiary education. I am not from gold spoon in your mouth kind of family. And that is why I did not pursue my degree until 2016, years after I left high school and years after all my friends would have finished their first degrees going on to their second. But just to go back to the story, I remember when I got the scholarship and I said, come high, come low, I cannot lose this scholarship. So after work, I'm heading straight to the campus, no matter how tired I am. Every day for the week, I am going there because there's a class, there's something to do. And even after, the staff at the site was very accommodating. I have to say, big up to Miss Ferguson, if she's online from the Maypen campus, she is an excellent site coordinator. And she allowed me to come in every day after work. I did my work. I submitted my work and, moved on.
Anita's audio seemed to have cut out, is it?
Yes, I'm not hearing her.
Yeah, we're not hearing her.
Right. All right. But when she comes back, we could continue with the remainder of the story. But that's really good to know. And I mean, it's testament again to the staff that
I'm clutching my purse and I'm clutching my books because I have to make it. So I just want to encourage somebody who is starting today, even if you're not sure, one course at a time, one exam at a time, one paper at a time, you will make it. And I know that the UWI Open Campus provides excellent guidance when it comes to completing your assignment and completing your courses.
All right. Thank you so much, Anita. I mean, I'm sure that you have encouraged a couple of persons tonight, and in case they were thinking of pursuing their studies. And Anita, just to let you know that I don't think any of us on this call is from any gold spoon in your mouth type families.
No.
Well, but the Lord has certainly blessed us to be where we are today, so we just have to give him thanks.
All the
Yes.
time, and also hard work and discipline.
And hard work and discipline, right?
Yes.
And a good support system, because if our families, our friends were not there, that's another positive for us.
Yes.
That
And
is
the
so
support
true.
system.
Go ahead, Latoya.
No, I was just piggybacking on what Paul said. You need a good support system in terms of your family and friends, but also your colleagues. It's important to collaborate with your peers. And I think that's one of the reasons why UWI gives us so many group assignments, which at the time, there were times when I was a little frustrated with group assignments. I did not like group assignments when I started UWI, to be honest, because I like to go at my own pace. And basically you have to go at the pace of the group. And also there were times when persons, would not pull their weight. You find that with any kind of team setting.
So group dynamics, yes.
Yes, so I really didn't like it, but after a while I saw the value in it. And I realized that, I met so many great persons. We are friends today. One of them has even become like my best friend. We are confidants, and it's that type of support that you need, because your friends and family, they can support you in some ways, but they don't really know exactly what you're going through because they're not going through it with you. But your colleagues, they're experiencing the same thing. And so they're able to give you that encouragement when you need it. They're able to assist you with your assignments, as Paul alluded to, that they would exchange papers and give each other feedback. So you have that peer learning and that kind of networking going on. It's priceless. You need that. So for anyone out there who is considering, pursuing studies with the Open Campus, that's one of the key advice I would like to leave with you, is that make sure you network and collaborate with your peers. It's invaluable. And the online learning can become very lonely. So you need that support system. You need to interact with your peers, and you'll find that you make lasting friendships without even trying to do so.
Well, without you knowing it, Latoya, you just stole my next question. And I'm going to ask it nonetheless so that your other colleagues could probably respond. How did you cope with online studies? And I think you have given the first point, which is networking with your colleagues. Paul, how did you cope with online studies?
I had a lot of food. I wish Anita was nearby so she could have cooked all that food for me, and I could have just sat and ate. But I must echo what Latoya said about the collaboration. Another one is communication as well. If we are from different parts in the Caribbean, and if you're going through some issues, just feel free to speak to us and let us know. And one of the things that I will definitely leave with anyone who's thinking about going on is to create, especially when it comes to group projects, create a script and share that script with all of your your group members. Because just like what our very good friend here, Anita, is going through, you may have internet issues. And if you're doing a presentation that is 15 minutes and her internet happens to fall, somebody needs to jump right in and continue on with the presentation. So it's definitely that networking. Like they say, teamwork makes the dream work. That is very key there in allowing you guys to make it through you. And again, it pushes you, it forces you to be your better self. And these course coordinators, these course facilitators, tutors, again, key people in your growth as a student here at UWI. And I must commend all those people that assisted us throughout our educational journey. Thank you.
Great. And Anita, how did you cope with online studies?
Well, my journey to online studies was, I don't know. I was always a learner that needed to be in front of a chalkboard or a whiteboard, because I need to be there to ask the teachers every 2 seconds, some miss. That is the kind of student that I am. And I must admit, the very first day I logged on and I saw that there was like nobody there, I went outside, and it's a bit embarrassing to say it now, but I cried. And the side coordinator came and she, Anita, you got this and you can manage. And she said, take a deep breath, start reading from the first. And then, because you're new, so you're not really sure how to use the platform. But as you progress, I realized that I can WhatsApp my teacher, well, my lecturer at any time, and she will be there within, reasonable time to give me a response. If it is that I'm not understanding something, there are other persons in my class that will say, hey, let me explain this. So I didn't feel alone after I got the swing of it.
Right.
But it takes, you have to put yourself out there. And I cope with food too, Paul.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to what you said, Anita. It was quite a transition to go to the online learning, primarily because it taught us how to be self-directed learners. So we came from that traditional setting where you're sitting in front of a chalkboard, and as you said, you're able to ask as many questions as you want. In contrast to what we experience at the open campus, where in some courses you had classes every week, while in other courses you may have had classes 3 times for the whole semester. But yet there was still some kind of dialogue with the facilitator for the course. You could communicate via the platform itself on the forums or via email. And in some cases, some teachers allowed us to have their numbers where we could communicate with them via WhatsApp. So it was quite a transition, but once you get into it, you find that it's not that hard. And one of the main things about it, what's of paramount importance, I believe, is that it teaches you that you have to take the initiative and take responsibility for your own learning. You can't wait for the teacher to spoon feed you. If you want this, then you have to go after it.
I agree.
After it, you guys did.
So true.
Totally agree.
I too was guilty of the food, because a lot of my friends, and we had study groups. So like Paul, we would try to do our courses together every semester. We're like, okay, what courses are you doing this semester? So we would try to collaborate in that way, and we would have study groups. And Nita and I we were in a study group for accounting in our first year. And in those study groups, I found that we would be up very late in the night. So of course you get hungry. And I had a specialty that I would drink tea and crackers with peanut butter every midnight. So every time they heard me say, excuse me, I'll be right back, everybody knew, okay, Latoya is gone for her tea and her peanut butter and crackers. So I think that comes with the territory. Staying up late at night, you do get hungry and you end up snacking. But you have to just make sure you try to balance that with some kind of exercise, or else you can put on a lot of weight.
Latoya, you know what? You and I have the exact snack at midnight. The same.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
So
I also studied with the Open Campus for 4 years, and that was my snack. Crackers, and I love wheat crackers. So it was wheat crackers and peanut butter. I also love marmalade, by the way.
Yes.
So sometimes I put a little marmalade on the peanut butter, and that was my midnight snack.
Okay, so guys, you see, for prospective students, the key to being successful is to have tea and your crackers and peanut butter.
Crackers and tea.
Okay. So that's the third key. Collaboration, communication,
and crackers and tea.
3 C's.
Absolutely. You can't make it without that.
Can't make it without that. All right. And of course, as you all said that, this was online self-directed learning. So you also had to be very disciplined. because there was nobody there with a big stick over you telling you, read this book, read that chapter, read that journal. You had to develop some discipline over time.
Yes, absolutely. You had to be the one to take the initiative to make sure you keep up with your assignments, with your readings, because you could, lag behind, and you don't want that to happen, because then it becomes overwhelming, especially as the semester draws to an end and then you have exams. You could get very frustrated and very stressed. So it's best to keep up with your all of your assignments, participate in those weekly discussions.
Yep.
Even those ones, I am a bit guilty of not doing the discussions that are not graded, but students, don't be like me. Even if it's not graded, do it because it will be beneficial to you in the exam. I must admit, go ahead, Paul.
You are lucky because ours was graded. So.
Yeah, there were some that were graded, but there were some courses where not all of them were graded. And so, with balancing the family and the job and everything else, I had to prioritize, and do the assignments that were graded and sometimes leave out the ones that were not. But what I did do when it came towards exams is that I would still make sure I reviewed whatever topics were discussed in those ungraded weekly discussions to make sure I was, fully prepared for the examination.
Very, very, very smart. No wonder you're the valedictorian.
Latoya,
yes.
You mentioned your courses. I don't know if anybody else took this approach, but what I did to balance was to ensure that I'm doing one course that is that has, that the element is continuous assessment, and at least two courses that I have an end of semester exam.
Yes.
So instead of doing 3 courses that I'm going to have to study for 3 courses for my final exam, I know that when I finish that continuous assessment, that is finished and completed, done with, so I can focus on doing the other 2 exams. And that was my what you call that?
Your strategy.
Your strategy,
yeah. Right.
That was mine.
That worked for you.
That was mine as well, Anita. I did the same thing. I would always do 3 courses per semester, but I never had to do 3 exams. I only would have the very most 2 exams at a time. So I did the same thing, and that was very strategic on your part.
So true.
So I hope the prospective students are listening to you guys and learning some of the tricks of the trade of studying online with the UWI Open Campus. You guys have said so many wonderful things. I wanted to know what in all of this, was there one particular thing for you that stood out? What was the best highlighted area of this entire journey for each of you? Paul?
Well,
sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Paul. I'll allow the gentleman to go first this time.
Okay.
Thank you there, Latoya and Anita. For me, it taught me to go into my workplace and use it as my foundation to do my research. I took over a high school, and there were a lot of different. The culture there was one that I said I need to go in there and let the teachers understand why students learn the way they do. Why we find that for example, our regional exams, and we have these local exams that the students are doing poorly in. There must be a reason for that. And so what you taught me at that time was that I was able to do data collection on my school and use that in my presentations. And then so I was able to now develop an action plan to go into my school to effect the change. And so I must commend you for that. Even for now, for example, the school that I'm at, the principal of, not one of those affluent schools. And so let's say, for example, there's a company and I would like to get some donations. My teachers asked me, sir, why is your letter so different from other letters that I've seen from other schools? Those schools are known for academic excellence and other stuff. While the school that I'm at, we're changing, we're developing. And so when I wrote my letters, I made sure I used citation, I had references and all that good stuff. And so I usually get a call back We would like to learn more about your school, Mr. Morales. Can you tell us a little bit more? And I got a lot of donations within 9 months of taking over. And so I must commend you for that. They taught me how to go in, do the research, get to know what's going on, and basically tell me that from statistics, you're able to then use that to make concrete decisions that will move your school forward.
Great stuff. So you have been able to apply the knowledge that you got in this program to the situation at your school.
Yes, sir.
That's powerful.
Yes, I have definitely learned research techniques from being at UWI that I have been able to now take into my other course of study. And I have been commended tremendously for the level of research that I provide, and have been urged by my professors to pursue a PhD after I'm finished with the master's, which I'm not sure, but we'll see. But one of the things that stands out to me, apart from all the friendships that I've made so many friends from all across the region. It's this group assignment that we had to do in this course called Team Building and Management. And we had to come up with an innovative product, something that's never been done. And so we decided to I'll say this, what we did was, it's a risky topic, right? But we're all adults here. So our product that we came up with was the idea of a blue condom. Okay, and how the blue condom works is that, or theoretically, how it works is that if it came into contact with the HIV virus, the condom would turn blue. So your partner is able to detect right away that, hey,
something is wrong here.
Something is not right. And that was such an experience of doing that group work with those colleagues of mine. It stood out to the professor at the time, the lecturer that we had, so much so that students who did the course subsequently after we had done it told us, because I knew them, they told us that, this is something that the teacher has highlighted as one of the best projects that she'd ever seen, one of the best team building assignments. So I've never forgotten our blue condom. It's in theory, and it's a pity we don't have the science background to be able to develop that technology, but it would be.
Some of the folks from UWI Science who may be listening can probably take that further.
Yeah, it would be awesome, because I'm sure it would save many lives out there.
All right. Anita, what was the highlight for you?
All right, the highlight, apart from the friendship that the friendships that I've made over the time, the highlight for me, I believe, is the balance and the organization of everything that I have to do. It transitioned very well into the job that I'm doing right now as a loans officer. I have to be able to see everything laid out in front of me and decide what is best for the client. Balancing that with trying to do I'm trying to start a little business for myself. So trying to balance that and trying to balance everything else that is happening in the world right now. UWI Open Campus, one of the things that stood out for me is the need to be balanced. Sometimes I know that the exams are coming. I know that the papers are due. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should slack off, but what I'm saying, there are times when balance is important, that you really just need to take a break, drink some tea, and just relax. I know it's the temptation is there to just keep going at it, but you will suffer a burnout so terrible. You just need to learn that it is okay to rest periodically and go at it again. That's one of the stuff that stand out for me.
All right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Latoya.
No, I was agreeing with what Anita said. You have to take time for yourself to relax because you can get burned out if you just continuously go at it. So it's important to take your breaks, enjoy life, you know.
So true.
What I love about the open campus as well is that you get a long period between breaks. The Christmas break is usually about 6 weeks. Summer break, if you don't do summer courses, can be as long as 3 months. And even if you do a summer course or two, your summer break would end up being 6 weeks, about 6 weeks before the next semester starts. So I appreciate that, you know, you get to spend quality time with your family and your friends, and you can just unwind during those breaks, during those break periods. You don't have to do any schoolwork because the next set of courses will not be tied to what you've done before. So you can completely relax and rest your mind during those breaks.
Toya, I must also add flexibility that Open Campus also had. What happened is that I found that times some professors would give us a deadline for a date, and then they would probably type up if you check it. That's one of the things that the Open Campus would also tell you to check your emails regularly. And even if you don't check it regularly, there's an email being sent to you to say, we haven't seen you on the site for some days, what's going on?
Yes.
I could recall this professor told us the deadline was December the 3rd, and she gave us December the 10th. But like Anita spoke about balance, I was finished. I submitted. I didn't care. I said, no, I'm not going to give it any more time. I need to break off. So my other colleague said, no, Paul, let's wait till December the 10th. I said, no. So I do also must commend the UWI Open Campus that some professors are also provide that flexibility when it comes to meeting deadlines. Okay.
Yes, and I also want to add that your lecturers are very considerate of, you know, your personal circumstances, because life does happen. You know, you could lose a loved one. I had lost my dad during my tenure at UWI. I had done surgery, major surgery, while I was at UWI. And so my professors were very accommodating in giving me extensions on the deadline. So if you have any kind of life issues that are, you know, going on, you can always reach out to them, and they will be willing to assist you.
Wow, compassionate.
And just to add to,
The more you speak, the more your story becomes even more amazing, because you are the valedictorian and you went through all of this during your 10 years time of study. That's absolutely amazing.
I give all the glory to God, Dr. Zam, because you have to have something much bigger than yourself to be able to take you through challenging times. And for me, it's God. You know, my faith, I have a strong faith in him, and that's what takes me through all the challenges.
Great stuff. All right, just at this time, just in case we have some prospective students who are watching, or their parents or their uncles, just to let you know that there's still time to apply to be like Latoya and Anita and Paul, to join us in September. Our application period is still open, as you can see on the screen. For the undergraduates, you have until the 16th of July. And for the postgraduate, those who are interested in postgraduate programs like the one Paul did, postgraduate diploma in education, leadership, and management, you have until the 11th of July. That's just a few days away from today is the 8th. So you have a few days to apply, and there you have the website, open.uwi.edu/apply. So you need to go to that website now, click that apply button, and submit your application. As I said, you have until the 11th of July if you're applying for postgraduate. So this may be a postgraduate diploma, a postgraduate certificate, a master's degree, or a doctorate. And if you're doing an undergraduate, you have until the 16th of July to apply. Thank you very much, Cherise, for that. And I want to ask, we are really out of time. Could you believe we've been here for almost an hour? So my last question to you guys really is, what advice would you give to prospective students who are thinking about applying to start their studies in September at the Open Campus?
Well, first of all, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
You have everything to gain and nothing to lose other than a little bit of sleep and some sacrifices here and there. You know, you might have to not binge watch Netflix for a little bit of time. You might have to say no to a few invitations here and there. And even spending time with family may be, you know, that time may be reduced, but it's only for a set period of time. It's not for the rest of your life. You have so much to gain from it. The value definitely outweighs the cost. So I would urge anyone out there. I want to speak to the ones out there who have families, who think, you know, I've already gotten this far. I have children. I have this career, but you know you have a dream that you want to pursue, but you think it's too late. Well, I'm evidence that it's not. It's never too late, because I had previously studied hotel and resort management, worked in that sector for a number of years, and I decided that I wanted to make a transition. And so I decided to take a leap of faith and go for it. And I was successful because I made that commitment and that dedication to pursue my dreams. And so you too can do the same. It will take some hard work on your part, because there are challenges that will come along. But at the end of the day, if you really want something, you set your mind to do it, you can definitely accomplish it. So I would just tell anyone out there who is thinking about it, go ahead and do it. The benefits will outweigh the cost in the long run.
All right, Paul, 30 seconds.
The prestige of being a Pelican, there's nothing else to it. Look at Latoya, look at Anita, look at yourself, Dr. Sam, and look at all the others who have been a part of this amazing institution. You go for the moon, you fall among stars.
All right.
UWI is welcoming and really embraces you. Come and bring all your diversity and your creativity, and we will turn you into one of the best diamonds out there in the world.
All right. Anita Mitchell, 30 seconds.
All right, I just want to encourage anybody that you're ready to start your tertiary education, come to the open campus. If you need guidance and you need step-by-step, assistance, the UWI Open Campus is the place for that. And I just want to encourage you in my 30 seconds, if you start, do not stop. It's better you do one course per semester than starting all over again if needs be. So I'm gonna encourage you, keep your faith, keep knowing that you're good, you can do it within yourself. And even if it's one course, one step at a time, go for it. Best place to be.
All right. I mean, you guys have been really, really, really awesome. And you're gonna stay with us for about another 3 minutes. But on behalf of the UWI Open Campus and the University of the West Indies, generally, I want to just say thank you all so much for being here. So normally at this time of the program, I would be saying thank you to all of the folks who have helped us to make this program a success, including David Foster, one of our colleagues who passed suddenly recently. So we just want to pay tribute to David with a minute's silence. So I'm going to ask everyone, even those who are joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, to just join us for 1 minute as we pay our tribute to our fallen colleague, Mr. David Foster. So 1 minute starting now. Thank you so much for your silence. May he rest in peace and rise in glory. David Foster gone, but certainly not forgotten. So at this time, I want to say thanks once again to our guests. Just give me a minute, let me compose myself here. To say thank you to our really three awesome guests this evening, Latoya Atkinson from the Bahamas, Anita Mitchell from Jamaica, and Paul Norales from Belize. On behalf of the UWI Open Campus, we really want to thank you, and thank you on social media for following us here this evening. We really hope that you have been inspired by these three amazing recent graduates of the UWI Open Campus. Thanks as well to Patrick Johnson, Cherise Glasgow, Louis Boxill, Richard Bath, Marcia Reed, and all of those who have been helping us in the background to make sure that this program is a success. Until next time, I'm your host, Cleveland Sam. Goodbye.
Bye.